the setting sun cast a golden glow over the scene, a bittersweet reminder of the countless sunsets they had shared together.
Oluyemi, this, us, it's been the center of my world, but I can't ignore the pain. I love you more than I thought possible, but I'm not sure that's enough anymore.
Kola, I'm so sorry. I never wanted to hurt you. You deserve someone who can give you their whole heart, not a divided one. I need to find my way back to myself, and I can't ask you to wait for me. Long time ago, there lived a young man named Kola, a 25-year-old aspiring entrepreneur with a vision to revolutionize the tech industry. His life took a turn toward an unexpected when he met Oluyemi, a fellow student in the university. Oluyemi, with a radiant smile and ambitious spirit, was studying law, driven by a passion for justice and a desire to make a difference in her community. Their paths crossed on a sunny afternoon during a campus event aimed at fostering entrepreneurship and innovation among students. Kola was presenting his latest tech startup idea, a mobile app designed to connect local artisans with a wider market. Oluyemi, attending to support a friend, was captivated by Kola's vision and the tangible passion with which he spoke. After the presentation, she approached him, complimenting his innovative concept and sharing her thoughts on the potential impact of technology on social justice. This initial encounter sparked a connection that quickly deepened into a serious relationship. Their conversations ranged from debates on political philosophies to discussions about their favorite Nollywood movies. From sharing childhood memories to dreaming about the future, they explored the city together, from the bustling markets of Balogun, filled with colorful fabrics and the rich aroma of spices, to the serene beauty of Lekki Conservation Center, where they walked hand in hand. Each date, each shared moment, moved them closer together, their love becoming a shared experiences and dreams. But it wasn't just the romance that defined their relationship. It was also a partnership. They supported each other's ambitions unconditionally. Kola, with Oluyemi's encouragement, took bold steps in developing a startup, while Oluyemi found in Kola a steadfast cheerleader for academic achievements and advocacy for women's rights. Yet, as perfect as their relationship seemed, the pressures of their ambitions and the external world began to cast shadows. Kola, in his relentless pursuit of success, often found himself engulfed in his work, struggling to balance his time between his startup and Oluyemi. Meanwhile, Oluyemi, faced with the competitive nature of her law studies and her extracurricular activities, found herself craving the attention and affection that had once been so freely given. Under the golden hue of the setting sun, Kola and Oluyemi found themselves at their favorite spots by the river, a place that had become their sanctuary away from the bustling city life. As they walked side by side, their hands intertwined, the gentle flow of the river mirrored the calmness they found in each other's presence. Kola, ever the dreamer, shared his visions of the future with Oluyemi. He spoke passionately about expanding his tech startup, a mobile app designed to connect local artisans with a wider market, not just within Nigeria, but across the continent. His eyes sparkled with ambition, not for wealth, but for the impact he could make on local communities, empowering artisans and preserving the rich cultural heritage of Nigeria. Oluyemi shared her dreams of becoming a renowned lawyer, one who would fight for justice and equality. She envisioned using her legal expertise to support women's rights and provide pro bono services to those who couldn't afford legal representation. Her dedication to making a difference resonated with Scholar, and in her, he saw a partner who shared his values and aspirations. As the conversation flowed, they began to weave their dreams together, imagining a future where they could combine their skills and passions to create a legacy of change and innovation. They talked about starting a foundation that would offer scholarship to underprivileged youth, providing them with the education and opportunities they deserved. As they made their way back to the city, the night embraced them, but the light of their shared dreams illuminated their paths forward. Together, they were more than just dreamers. They were doers, ready to face the challenges ahead and create the future they envisioned, not just for themselves, but for their community and the world at large. Scholar's tech startup had started to gain attraction, attracting attention from investors and the media. With this success came an unrelenting workload that demanded not just his time, but his entire focus. The dream he shared with Oluyemi was becoming a reality, but the cost was more than he had anticipated. Meanwhile, Oluyemi faced her own challenges. Her law studies had intensified, and she had taken on a leadership role in a campus organization dedicated to women's rights. Her days were filled with classes, meetings, and organizing advocacy events. She was making a difference, just as she had always wanted, but her achievements came with their own demands. Their shared dreams and aspirations, once the glue that bound them, now seemed to pull them in different directions. The time they could spend together, once abundant, now had to be scheduled and often postponed. Their conversations, once filled with dreams and laughter, became updates and apologies for missed calls and late arrivals. One evening, as they tried to recreate one of their riverbank getaways, the strain became tangible. The certain song could not ease the tension that hung in the air. Kola, distracted by a looming deadline, struggled to be present, while Oluyemi, exhausted from a day of back-to-back meetings, found it hard to find the words to describe her day. The silence between them was a clear contrast to the easy banter that used to fill their moments together. Oluyemi missed the Kola who would look into her eyes and see her soul, not just the surface. Kola missed the Oluyemi whose laughter was his reprieve from the weight of his ambitions. As Kola and Oluyemi sat quietly by the river, the silence between them grew heavy. It was Oluyemi who broke the silence first. Her voice tinged with a mixture of concern and frustration. Kola, we need to talk. It feels like there's a widening gap between us. You are always so absorbed in your work and I miss us. Kola turned to face her, the fading light reflecting in his glasses. He could see the strain in her eyes, a mirror to his own exhaustion.
I know, Oluyemi. I know. It's just, this startup is at a crucial stage. But you're right. I've let it consume all my time. I miss you too.
I'm proud of you, Kola. I truly am. But I fear we're losing something precious. Our dreams were supposed to bring us together, not pull us apart. Kola reached for her hand, holding it gently, a silent acknowledgement of her words.
I'm sorry, Oluyemi. I didn't realize how much I've neglected us. Can we find a way through this? I don't want to lose you or what we have.
Oluyemi squeezed his hand, a gesture filled with hope and a willingness to fight for their relationship. We need to find a balance, Kola. Our ambitions are important, but so is our relationship. Let's make a move to set aside time for us, no matter how busy we get.
You're right. Let's promise to have at least one evening a week, just for us. No work, No distractions, just you and me, like it used to be.
And let's communicate more. If something is bothering us, we talk about it. No holding back. We are a team, Kola. We can't forget that. Kola nodded, the determination in his eyes matching Oluyemi's.
18. I like the sound of that. I promise, Oluyemi, I'll do better. We will do better.
As the sun dipped below the horizon, Kola and Oluyemi stood up, their hands still intertwined. They knew the road ahead would be challenging, but with a renewed commitment to each other, they were ready to face it together. The weeks that followed, Kola and Oluyemi made sincere efforts to bridge the gap that had formed between them. Their dedicated evenings brought back the laughter and closeness that had been missing, serving as a reminder of their deep connection. However, the demands of their individual pursuits remained unyielding, often leaving Oluyemi feeling lonely and yearning for the companionship that Kola's busy schedule could no longer satisfy. During this period of vulnerability, Oluyemi met Dilly, a classmate who had recently transferred to a law faculty. Dilly, with his keen interest in social justice and women's rights, quickly became a fixture in Oluyemi's academic life. His presence filled the void left by Kola's absence, offering both support and understanding that she desperately needed. One afternoon, as they worked together on a group project in the campus library, Dilly turned to Oluyemi, his gaze thoughtful.
Oluyemi, you've been quite the inspiration in our group. It's so rare to find someone as dedicated and passionate as you are.
Thank you, Dilly. That means a lot, especially coming from someone as engaged and insightful as you. Their conversations began to stretch beyond academic topics, delving into personal aspirations, challenges, and even the strains in Oluyemi's relationship with Kola. Dilly's empathy and attentiveness made Oluyemi feel seen and heard in ways she had not in months. One evening, as they walked out of the library together, Dilly hesitated before speaking.
Oluyemi, if you don't mind me saying, you deserve someone who's there for you, someone who listens and supports you, not just when it's convenient for them.
I appreciate your concern, Dilly. It's just complicated, you know. Kola and I have been through a lot together.
I understand, and I respect that. Just know you're not alone, Oluyemi. I'm here, whether you need a study partner, a listening ear, or just someone to share a coffee with.
As days passed, Oluyemi found herself drawn to Dilly, his company becoming something she looked forward to. Caught between her loyalty to Kola and the growing attraction to Dilly, Oluyemi faced a temptation that tested the very foundation of her relationship. The more time she spent with Dilly, the more she questioned what she truly wanted, and whether her heart was big enough to hold space for two very different, yet equally compelling connections. The crossroads before her was not just choosing between two men. It was about navigating the complexities of love, loyalty, and personal fulfillment. As the days passed, the connection between Oluyemi and Dilly deepened, transforming from a comforting companionship into a complex web of emotions. Oluyemi found herself at a crossroads, torn between her loyalty to Kola and the undeniable pull she felt towards Dilly. The time she spent with Dilly became a sanctuary, a place where she felt understood and valued in ways that had become rare in her relationship with Kola. One evening, as the campus was bathed in the soft glow of the sunset, Oluyemi and Dilly found themselves alone under their usual tree. The air was filled with the unspoken tension of their growing closeness.
Oluyemi, I can't pretend anymore. These past few weeks have been special. You've been more than just You've been more than just a friend to me.
Oluyemi's heart raced, her mind a turmoil of conflicting emotions. She knew this conversation was inevitable, yet she was unprepared for the intensity of her own feelings. Dilly, I don't know what to say. There's Kola, and then there's how I feel when I'm with you. I'm so confused.
I know, and I would never want to make you choose if it's going to hurt you. But hiding my feelings isn't right either. You deserve to know.
The honesty in Dilly's voice pierced through Oluyemi's defenses, forcing her to confront her own feelings. She was faced with the undeniable truth that her heart was divided. In the days that followed, Oluyemi's inner turmoil grew. She began to distance herself from Kola, her guilt making it difficult to face him. Their conversations became strained, filled with unspoken questions and half-hearted assurances. Kola, sensing the change in Oluyemi, struggled to bridge the gap, unaware of the true reason behind her withdrawal. His attempts to rekindle their connection were met with polite smile and evasive answers, leaving him feeling helpless and confused. As Oluyemi grappled with her feelings, she realized that her connection with Dele had evolved into an emotional affair, one that threatened to shatter the life she had built with Kola. The realization brought with it a wave of guilt and sorrow for the pain her actions could cause. What have I done? How did I let this get this far? Faced with the reality of her situation, Oluyemi knew she had to make a choice. The once clear lines of her life had blurred, leaving her to navigate a maze of emotions and decisions that could alter the course of her future. One night, under the same tree where her dilemma had begun, Oluyemi made her decision. She knew what she had to do, but the path ahead was filled with uncertainty and the potential for heartbreak. I have to be honest with myself. I'm a scholar. It's the only way forward, no matter how difficult it may be. In the aftermath of the unexpected encounter, Kola found himself grappling with a maelstrom of emotions. The image of Oluyemi and Dele, so engrossed in each other's company under the tree, replayed in his mind. Kola had always trusted Oluyemi implicitly, believing their bond to be unshakable. As days passed, Kola's observations turned into an obsession. He noticed subtle changes in Oluyemi's behavior. Her phone was now a constant companion. Conversations about their days, once filled with eager sharing, had become perfunctory exchanges. Kola's attempts to bridge the gap only seemed to widen it, leaving him feeling more isolated than ever. One evening, unable to hold his rising suspicions, Kola decided to confront Oluyemi.
Oluyemi, we need to talk. Is everything okay between us? You seem different lately.
Oluyemi, taken aback by the directness of his question, struggled to maintain her composure. Kola, everything is fine. Just the usual stress from school and...
It's more than that, Oluyemi. I can feel it. Is there something or someone else?
The question hung in the air, heavy with implications. Oluyemi's heart raced, caught off guard by Kola's sensitive. She had hoped to shield him from her confusion and guilt, to spare him the pain of her indecision. Kola, you're the only one for me. There is no one else. Her words, meant to reassure, felt hollow to Kola. The trust that had once been the foundation of their relationship now seemed fragile, threatened by the shadows of doubt. In the weeks that followed, Kola's suspicion cast a pall over their interactions. He found himself analyzing every word, every glance, searching for clues that might reveal the truth. The joy that had once defined their relationship was now overshadowed by the fear of losing what they had. As Kola wrestled with his doubts, Oluyemi battled her own guilt. The emotional turmoil of her connection with Dilly had left her torn, unable to fully commit to Kola, while part of her heart longed for what might be with Dilly. The once clear path of their relationship had become a tangled web of emotions, with each attempt to navigate it only serving to draw them further apart. The trust and understanding that had once seemed unbreakable were now tested by the weight of unspoken truths and unacknowledged feelings.
Oluyemi, been through so much together. Can't we talk about what's really going on? I feel like I'm losing you, and I don't know how to stop it.
Oluyemi looked up at Kola, her eyes reflecting the turmoil within. The words she had rehearsed in her mind seemed to vanish, leaving her grappling for what to say. Kola, it's not that simple. I'm just really overwhelmed right now. With school, with everything. It's not you.
But it feels more than just stress, Oluyemi. Is there someone else?
The directness of the question took Oluyemi's breath away. She had not expected Kola to confront the possibilities so bluntly. The fear of hurting him had kept her from being completely honest. But now, the truth loomed between them, impossible to ignore. Kola, I didn't mean for this to happen. It just happened. Dilly, he's been there for me in ways I didn't realize I needed. I'm so confused. Hearing Dilly's name spoken aloud, confirming his worst fears, felt like a physical blow to Kola. The pain was evident in his eyes, but so was his determination to understand.
I appreciate your honesty, Oluyemi. It hurts more than I can say, but we need to face this together. What do you want to do? Where do we go from here?
Oluyemi's heart ached at the sight of Kola's pain, a pain she had caused. The decision before her was the hardest she had ever faced. Torn between the love she still felt for Kola and the unexpected connection she had with Dilly. I don't know, Kola. I need time to think, to figure out my feelings. I don't want to hurt you more than I already have. Kola nodded, a silent acceptance of her request. The room felt colder, the space between them wider than before.
Take the time you need, Oluyemi. I'll be here, hoping we can find a way back to each other.
As Kola left the room, the finality of the moment weighed heavily on Oluyemi. She was left alone. Her thoughts a tangled maze of regret, confusion, and fear for the future. The night outside offered no comfort, its darkness mirroring the uncertainty that lay ahead. The days following their tense conversation became a period of silent contemplation for both Kola and Oluyemi. The once vibrant energy that filled their interactions was now replaced by a cautious distance, each lost in their own whirlpool of thoughts and emotions. Kola in particular struggled with the revelations of Oluyemi's confusion and the shadow of Dilly that had now loomed over their relationship. Determined to not let his suspicions and the looming presence of Dilly dictate his actions without clear evidence, Kola decided to seek the truth himself. His decision led him to the campus one evening, under the guise of picking up some books he had left with a friend. As fate would have it, his path crossed with Oluyemi and Dilly's once more. But this time, the encounter was far from accidental. Hidden from view, Kola watched as Oluyemi and Dilly sat under their now familiar tree. Their laughter and easy camaraderie is stark contrast to the tension that had taken root in his own relationship with Oluyemi. The sight was like a dagger to Kola's heart, confirming his worst fears, yet also igniting a flame of resolve within him.
So this is the reality. But what now? Confrontation? Forgiveness? Or something else?
After Dilly left, Kola approached Oluyemi, his steps heavy with the burden of his heartache and the decision he had to make.
Oluyemi, we need to talk. I saw you with Dilly. I've seen the way you two are together. Please, just tell me, what does it mean to you?
Oluyemi's heart sank at Kola's words, a secret laid bare. The comfort and escape Dilly had provided were now sources of pain and betrayal. Kola, I'm so sorry. I never meant for any of this to happen. Dilly was just a friend, but I got lost. I'm so confused, Kola. I don't want to lose you, but I don't know how to fix this. The honesty in Oluyemi's voice, the raw emotion, stirred a tumult of feelings in Kola. Hurt, betrayal, but also an underlying current of love that had weathered many storms.
I appreciate your honesty, Oluyemi. More than you know. But words, you can't undo what's been done. We need to decide where we go from here. Can we find a way back to each other? Or is this the end of our story?
The question hung between them, heavy with the weight of their shared history and the uncertainty of their future. It was a crossroads moment, one that demanded not just a decision, but a commitment to the path chosen. As they stood together under the fading light, the campus around them quiet and watchful, Oluyemi and Kola faced the daunting task of navigating the wreckage of their relationship. It was a moment of truth, a test of their love and commitment to each other, and a testament to the challenges love faces in the wake of betrayal and heartache. In the aftermath of their fraught conversation under the campus tree, Kola and Oluyemi found themselves enveloped in a silence that was both heavy and revealing. The air between them, once filled with the promise of shared dreams and laughter, now carried the weight of unspoken hurt and betrayal. Kola's heart ached with a pain he had never known, a mix of disillusionment and sorrow for what seemed like the inevitable end of their journey together. Oluyemi, for her part, felt as if she were drowning in a sea of guilt and indecision. The revelation of her emotional entanglements with Dilly and the hurt it had caused Kola weighed heavily on her. She had always seen Kola as an anchor, a steadfast presence in her life. But now, she feared she had severed the very bond that had held them together. In the days that followed, Kola wrestled with his emotions. Anger, betrayal, and love tangled within him, each competing for dominance. The image of Oluyemi and Dilly together haunted him, a constant reminder of the rifts that had formed.
How did we get here? Can love truly survive such a betrayal? Is forgiveness possible? Or even right?
Oluyemi, equally tormented, found herself at a crossroads. The realization that her actions had caused Kola such pain was a bitter pill to swallow. She knew she had to make a choice, not just for herself, but for the sake of the love she had harbored for Kola. I've hurt him beyond words. My heart is torn. I need to set things right, even if it means letting go. The decision to confront their reality led Kola and Oluyemi to meet once again, this time in a place that had witnessed the beginnings of their love. The setting sun cast a golden glow over the scene, a bittersweet reminder of the countless sunsets they had shared together.
Oluyemi, this, us, it's been the center of my world, but I can't ignore the pain. I love you more than I thought possible, but I'm not sure that's enough anymore.
Kola, I'm so sorry. I never wanted to hurt you. You deserve someone who can give you their whole heart, not a divided one. I need to find my way back to myself, and I can't ask you to wait for me. In that moment, amidst the heartache and tears, there was also a profound love and respect between them. The decision to part ways was not made out of anger or spite, but from a deep understanding of the need for healing and growth. As they hugged for what felt like the last time, there was a silent acknowledgement of the beauty of what they had shared and the pain of its ending. They were two souls forever changed by the love for each other, now embarking on separate paths to mend their broken pieces. In the wake of their sadness encounter, Kola found himself at a crossroads, grappling with a series of emotions that ranged from betrayal to lingering affection for Oluyemi. The pain of a confession and the revelation of her emotional entanglements with Dilly left him feeling lost, seeking a solace that seemed just out of reach. It was during this turbulent period that Kola, in his search for clarity and closure, turned to the wisdom and traditions of his ancestors. The concept of Magum, a traditional Yoruba charm said to protect against infidelity, was something Kola had heard of in hush tones and folklore. Traditionally, it was believed to be a means of ensuring fidelity, with grave consequences for those who strayed. While Kola had always regarded such practices with skepticism, the depth of his anguish drove him to reconsider the powers of traditional justice as a means of testing Oluyemi's sincerity.
Is it my love for her that seeks this test? Or is it my wounded pride? Can the ways of old truly offer solace to a heart betrayed in the modern age?
His mind was a battleground between his upbringing, which leaned towards logic and reason, and the cultural heritage that whispered of mystical solutions to earthly woes. After days of internal struggle, Kola's desire for the truth overcame his reservations. He sought out a herbalist, a traditional Yoruba priest, known for his wisdom and knowledge of ancient rites.
I seek a way to know the truth of her heart. Is her remorse genuine? Or am I a fool for holding on to hope?
The herbalist, sensing Kola's pain and the complexity of his request, agreed to assist him, but not without offering words of caution.
The path you choose to walk with Magum is fraught with consequences, not just for her, but for you as well. The truth it reveals may not bring the peace you seek. Are you prepared for what it may unveil?
Kola, his resolve hardened by the herbalist's warning, nodded. His heart yearned for closure, for a sign that could either reignite the flame of trust or extinguish it forever. The ceremony was conducted under the clock of night, with Kola as a silent witness to the ancient rites that were performed. As the herbalist chanted and called upon the ancestors, Kola felt a connection to his heritage like never before. A poignant reminder of the depth and complexity of human relationships across time. The decision to employ the Magum was not made lightly by Kola. It was a night cloaked in the weight of his heartache and the quest for truth that had led him to the doorstep of the Babalawo, the shrine, a place where the air was thick with the scent of incense and the whispers of the ancestors, seemed to Kola both foreign and familiar. As he crossed the threshold, it felt as though he was stepping into a world where the woes of the heart met the wisdom of ages. The herbalist, sensing the depth of Kola's turmoil, listened intently as Kola spoke of Oluyemi, their shared past, and the shadows of doubt that had now plagued his heart. The healer, with eyes that seemed to look beyond the veil of the material world, nodded slowly, understanding the gravity of what Kola sought.
The Magun is not a path to be trodden lightly. It binds the seen to the unseen, the heart to the soul. It will reveal the truth, but it will also reveal the nature of your own heart. Are you prepared for what it might unveil?
Kola, his resolve fortified by the pain of betrayal and the hunger for clarity, affirmed his readiness. The ceremony that followed was one of solemnity and ancient rites, conducted under the watchful eyes of the idols that adorned the shrine. The herbalist chanted, invoking the spirits of ancestors and the forces of nature as he prepared the Magun. Kola watched, a silent observer, as the traditional healer wove the charm with rituals that had been passed down through generations. As the ceremony concluded, the herbalist turned to Kola, handing him a small, intricately wrapped package. The Magun, now bound with the fate of Kola and Oluyemi, was a testament to Kola's desperate quest for truth.
The Magun is set. Remember, it is not just a test for her, but a mirror for your soul. Let your heart be guided by wisdom, not by the shadows of doubt.
Kola left the shrine with the weight of the decision heavy on his shoulders. The night air, once refreshing, now felt laden with the gravity of the path he had chosen. As he made his way back, the reality of what he had done began to settle in. The Magun, a silent witness to his turmoil, was a step towards uncovering the truth about Oluyemi's intentions. But it was also a step into the unknown. The fateful decision marked a turning point, not just in Kola's relationship with Oluyemi, but in his journey towards understanding the complex interplay of love, trust, and tradition. As the days passed, Kola found himself caught between hope and apprehension, waiting for the Magun to reveal the truth that would shape their futures. In the days following the setting of the Magun, Kola found himself ensnared in a web of his own making. The initial certainty that had driven him to the herbalist's doorsteps began to wane, replaced by a growing sense of unease. The quiet of the night offered no solace, as his mind replayed the ceremony and the weight of his choice. Kola's once unwavering resolve now faltered under the burden of ethical quandaries. The Magun, intended as a means to unveil the truth, had also cast a shadow of doubt over the very principles he held dear. Was it right to test Oluyemi's fidelity in such a manner? Had his hurt and desire for clarity clouded his judgment, leading him down a path that veered away from the values he had once cherished?
Have I let my pain justify actions that I might come to regret? What if the Magun reveals the truth that destroy more than it heals?
The thought of causing harm to Oluyemi, regardless of her actions, gnawed at him. The love he bore for her, though battered by betrayal, was not easily extinguished. The prospect of her suffering as a consequence of the Magum became a source of torment, a haunting specter that questioned the righteousness of his decision. As the days passed, Kola's internal battle intensified. The anticipation of the charm's effect was overshadowed by a growing apprehension about the ethical implications of his actions. The line between justice and vengeance, once clear, now blurred, leaving Kola adrift in a sea of moral ambiguity.
I sought the truth, but at what cost? The Magum was meant to protect my heart, but now it feels like a shackle, binding me to a choice that might betray my own sense of right or wrong.
Kola's doubts were not merely about the potential outcomes, but also about the transformation within himself. The journey to the herbalist shrine has changed him, unveiling facets of his character that he was now forced to confront. The Magum, a symbol of his quest for truth, had also become a mirror reflecting his deepest fears and uncertainties. Amidst this turmoil, Kola clung to the hope that the charm would not bring harm, but would instead pave the way for healing and understanding. Yet, the uncertainty of the Magum's impact loomed large, a testament to the complex dance of love, trust, and tradition. As the days melded into weeks, Oluyemi grappled with the tumultuous sea of her emotions, each wave bringing her closer to an inescapable truth. The affair with Dilly, once a source of solace, now felt like a chain around her heart, pulling her deeper into a vortex of guilt and confusion. The realization that she might lose Kola, the cornerstone of her world, became the catalyst for a profound awakening within her. What have I done? In seeking comfort, I've risked everything that truly matters. Kola's love, our shared dreams. Can I mend the rift I've caused?
I kindly ask for your support in subscribing, sharing, and liking my YouTube channel. By subscribing, you will stay updated on all my latest content. Every subscriber, share, and like helps me to reach a larger audience and continue pursuing my passion for creating content. Your support means everything to me, and I am incredibly grateful for each and every one of you who takes time to subscribe, share, and like my YouTube channel. Thank you for helping me on this journey, and I look forward to sharing more exciting content with you all in the future. Let's grow together and make great things happen.